Hi everybody, this is a intuitive reading that I felt like it was time for me to do. I'm just going to follow what comes through. I will share the decks below that I use in this reading, and any more information, and you can book intuitive readings with me as well. So I shall just see where this takes me. I feel like there's a message wanting to come through, and we will go with what happens there. So, oh, hello. Okay. So this is our starting point. Let's bring that in there. That is transformation, which seems to fit well for the time that we are in, as we are just moving into the new year, as in the old Gregorian New Year, not in any energetic New Year, not in any cosmological or astrological New Year, but there is cause for celebration and movement when we are moving into a new Gregorian year, because that is what we've come to associate with new beginnings. Whether or not it's energetically a good point for new beginnings, well, that's a discussion for another time. But this card here, this element of transformation, that it feels right to be moving into. And this card says, things are changing at a cellular level, deep healing. And I happen to know that there is a lot going on astrologically with the solar energy that's literally creating this for us. This not just transformation in our lives, which we may be moving into with the transition into 2026, but there are upgrades happening for us at a cellular level with what is going on cosmically, with the energy coming from the sun and the shifts and alignments that are happening astrologically, as well as we move into 2026, 2027 and 2028. So, and then these other cards that we have here, trust the niggle. Very interesting. That's what I did when I was like, I'm going to go and create a reading. And mirror. Very interesting combination of cards here. And trust the niggle also says, what is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? And as somebody who advocates for really, really deepening and learning to lean into your intuition and learn even what niggles and pains in your body are trying to tell you, I wholeheartedly suggest that if you have got any sort of niggling feeling, whether you feel a pain in your body, whether you're feeling a gut sensation that feels off or that feels good, ask it what it is that it is trying to tell you. And a really good way to do this is to ask, is to write, journal. Like, ask, what are you trying to tell me? And then journal on any messages, any wisdom that is coming through. And then for the mirror card to be coming out alongside that, who or what is triggering you? So I feel like the message here is, if you are feeling super triggered, getting these sensations within your body by anything, what is that message that it's trying to tell you? If you are being triggered by people, if you're being triggered by global world events, if you're being triggered by anything that is reflecting back to you something for you to look at, it's time to see what the message is, what the inner message is, to get past the trigger, to get past the message that's coming through to you that's saying, like, that person really irritates me because that situation, that government, that world leader, that really trigger me because. What is that message trying to tell you? And sometimes when we're super triggered by situations, by people, by circumstances, when we're really super triggered by things, it's because there's some part of us that either we don't like, because we can see in that situation, in that individual, in that circumstance, something in us that we don't like, maybe it's a personality trait that we really don't like, but that actually we secretly wish we had. Maybe it's outspokenness, forthrightness, maybe it's charisma, maybe it's the way that people can put things into words that we just can't put into words, and we actually get triggered by them and then hate on them or don't like them and project at them because there's some part of their personality, their traits, their presentation, the way they present themselves, that we get super almost enraged by. And then the other side of that is because they have traits that we don't have, that we wish we had, and that we aren't sure how to cultivate and how to put out into the world. So if, as we're moving into a completely new way of being, a cosmic shift, we're having these cellular upgrades, maybe it's time to see the parts of other people that trigger us, where we can embody them for ourselves and transform into whole new people, or where those triggers are maybe personality traits that we don't want to cultivate, but that we feel maybe there's a little bit of narcissist in us, that we're like, everybody's a narcissist, but actually there's some part of us that has that tendency too. And then this is the opportunity in this cellular DNA upgrade that we're going through. This is the opportunity to step out of those traits that we have no desire to carry on and continue with at all. And that can be like super triggering for us because we're not sure like how to become new people. This has been my experience through this year. There are situations and things in my life that I have been living with my whole life, more or less, and as I've moved through this year, I've not known who to be without those crutches. Not physical crutches, energetic crutches and financial crutches and things like that. Like, I don't know who I am without those things that I've had for over 40 years of my life in one way or another, or stability that I had in my life that I no longer had. And that, like, really getting to the root of who is this new human that I seeking to be, that I have a deep wish to be, and what does that look like, and who is she, who is he, who am I in this new energy? And that's the niggle that you're being told to trust, to step out of the matrix and into a whole new way of being. So I'm going to take 3 cards from this as well. Wind activation. yeah, it is very much feels like this is a deeply activating time for all of us. And as we move into this time, it is the time to allow the transformational winds of time to blow away, sometimes quite roughly, the old parts of us that are no longer serving us. And transformation can be painful. Like, we usually talk about the transformation of like caterpillar to butterfly, but I made a video, which I might link here, on how this concept of considering metamorphosis, transformation in the way of the butterfly. Butterflies don't live very long. And when we're talking about metamorphosis, it's time to start looking at other creatures who go through the metamorphosis process, who change from one type of creature to another. Like, let's think frogs. My middle daughter absolutely adores frogs. They're one of her favourite things in the world. So that's why we'll go with frogs. The metamorphosis process is still quite a traumatic process for a tadpole to turn into a frog. So when we think about this transformation process, it might be painful on some level. Facing our triggers is painful, really painful sometimes. And sometimes we have to go deep, and we have to feel that pain, and we have to feel where other people are really pissing us off and really like making us angry or frustrated or bringing in all of that pain that we don't want to face. Maybe it's memories that we don't want to face, the way that we've been treated in the past. But rising above it and allowing the winds of change to activate something in us. So activation is actually another good word for trigger. Trigger is a little overused, in my opinion, in the self-help community and spiritual communities. It's a little overused. And so it becomes triggering in itself. Activation is another good word, because our triggers should activate something in us, a wind of change in us. These cards are like literally giving the same theme. And then rainbow, blessings. Blessings are on the other side of this transformation. They really are. And that's what we're looking for. And that's where we have to focus our attention whilst we go through the metamorphosis process, whilst we go through the transformation process. It's focusing on the blessings, choosing how we see even the struggle. Like, rainbows come because of rain. They come because the weather's maybe not been very nice. And that's it shows us this beautiful light that's on the other side of the rain clouds being blown by the wind and summer solstice. I feel like this is telling us that by the summer solstice, we're just coming up to the winter solstice. At least here we are in the northern hemisphere, which is where I am in the UK. This cycle is completing by the summer solstice. You'll be unrecognisable by the summer solstice. You'll have stepped into this new frequency and this new energy. You'll have released a lot more of those triggers. A lot more of that activated energy will have come to pass if you take action, if you trust the messages that you're getting from within yourself, your body's messages, and any messages that you feel are coming to you from your own divine connection to source creation, source energy. Trust in that. Take the action, allow the wind to blow away the cobwebs and that activated energy that's caused by other people. Maybe it is even about letting people go from your life that are not actually serving you anymore, that are causing you these, like, you don't have to, just because somebody's triggering you, even if you feel like actually they're reflecting something back to me that's part of me, that you don't have to keep them people in your life while they trigger you. because they're triggering you. If you're taking the action, you're going like, right, what's this showing me about me, or what can I support, and how can I support myself to step into a new way of being that's more conscious, that's more connected, that's more sovereign to the divine energy that is running through us, that's pure love. How can I do that? And if those people actually hinder you from doing this by their very presence, it's okay to let them go. It's okay to say, you know what, I'm just going to step away from you for a little while. I'm just going to move away from you for a little while. It's okay to do that. We don't have to keep people in our lives just because some part of us thinks that we should. Not everybody is for everybody. And if we do all these things by the summer solstice, you'll really start to, you'll not recognise yourself. You'll be this complete new energy being that is absolutely, perfectly what you, closer to what your soul came here to do. I feel like that reading is complete. Please take what resonates from that and know that this is a transmission of energy. It's not a prediction. It's a transmission of the potential that is within you if you're seeing this, and it's also within others, because this transition of change is available to everybody, and it is the great change that we're going through as a collective, as humanity, as a planet, because we're all parts of this planet, and as divine sparks of universal creative energy. The upgrade is upon us. What will you do with it? Hope you've enjoyed this reading. Please do like, comment, subscribe, do all those beautiful things that the YouTube algorithm likes you to do, and I will see you another time. Bye.